we've had several questions raised through the registration process. Can't obviously answer them all, but I've got hopefully 2 that we can put to you. So Ian Cubitt, he's from Catten Industries. I believe you had a question for the panel. Did you want to make your, oh, there you are, Ian, welcome. I'll let you ask the question, and I'll leave it to the panel as to who best responds. So go for it.
No problem. Thank you very much. And just my question is, how can we better advertise our manufacturing industry to entice young Australians to enter into what can be a stable and long-term career?
Go, Innes. Thanks,
Ian. It's a really good question, and it's one that everyone, I think, is grappling with. I'd make 3 points just very quickly. One is that manufacturing has had for a long time what you might call an image problem, very unfairly so. But the image sort of, the sawdust on the floors and all that sort of stuff, which is just so far in the past, it's not funny. So this is, I think that we have a task collectively to get the image of manufacturing to reflect reality, high tech, high skilled, advanced everywhere, to make that point. Second point is that we need to ensure that we have the skilled workforce that we need coming through. So that's going to mean a lot more connectivity needed between schools and industry to drive awareness around what the opportunities are in manufacturing, that they are the advanced jobs of the future. To the point Scott made earlier about the Mars landing just yesterday, that's all done off the back of manufacturing. Without manufacturing, it doesn't happen. And what goes into manufacturing is the design, the R&D, all of those elements that we talked about earlier. So we've got to get the point across that manufacturing is just more about putting slot A into part B, but it's all the other parts that go into it. And this allied point off that is that we need to do a lot more work around schools, careers counselling. That's got to be a key area. Nick Purtell talked earlier about the ANZIC codes and the ANZSCO codes. I think that's important. I was having a conversation with Adam Boynton, the Skills Commissioner, yesterday about the issues with the old ANZIC codes and how careers counsellors and schools just use those as reference points, and they don't get into kids that these are transcending industries and transcending industries and skills that we need. The third one is parents. Needing to talk to parents about how industry has changed, manufacturing has changed. It's an old line that I often use, but it's one I picked up from Paul O'Malley when he was CEO of BlueScope. He said when he had the girls finish their apprenticeships, they'd always be on the front page of the Illawarra Mercury, and they'd say 2 things. One is, "I love it," and 2 is, "Dad told me not to do it." And we have to work on parents. So I think it's an entire image building exercise, Ian, that we need for manufacturing as a whole. It's underway and it's happening, but we really need to ramp it up. That's a good point. Excellent. I totally agree, Innes, and I certainly think now is the opportunity with our manufacturing renaissance in front of us to actually pivot that vet reputation. If we don't seize the opportunity now, then I think we can all give up the ghost. But I'm just going to throw to Scott. Did you want to add anything further on Ian's question?
Yeah, just quickly, Ian, and just to follow up Innes's comments, I think there's a couple of things I'd add. I think Jennifer's point about the challenge of the integration between vocational ed and tertiary ed is important, and breaking down that barrier in both the delivery and the systems, but equally the perceptions in terms of users. I think that's critical in terms of trying to bridge this gap and rebuilding how do they go together, how they're connected pathways as opposed to a binary choice between the two. Rebuilding TAFE, I think, is critical to this, and the brand of that is important as well in terms of trying to change the conversation here. I think advertising is important and a forward push in that regard in terms of the points Innes has made about retelling the story. And I just add that with that, it's also the reality that these are good, secure jobs. They're not big workplaces. They're probably, the points have been made. It's more likely it's the smaller, it's the SMEs that are driving this sector and telling that story. They're in your communities. they're down the street or in your hubs. They're not, some big manufacturing plants disconnected from you. They're part of community now. And I think we can make this tangible with some, real shared vision about how we retell the story and reconnect communities to work.
Excellent. Thank you, Scott. I do like retelling the story, and lots of nodding from Ian. Ian, I'm hoping that helped answer your question a little bit more. And again, I think it's something we've all got to focus on